This is really horrifying. A massive new investigation has tied
Go watch that video and definitely subscribe to and follow that channel. That's More Perfect Union. It talks about how prison labor has been used to produce products and goods for a lot of businesses that you use. This brings me back to a point I've had, which is, what do we boycott anymore? You can't survive if you boycott anything. There's not one company anymore that is not dirty. There is not one company that is doing something wrong. There's just not. There are no clean companies anymore. Every corporation, every company is corrupt at this point. Everyone. You can't get clean food. You can't get clean money. Nothing. All of it is corrupt and dirty, and you're forced to use it, and you have no choice. You can have that illusion of picking and choosing, but it doesn't matter, because all you're doing is picking the lesser of another evil, right? Because let's say you don't like Chick-fil-A because of how they treat people who are not straight, white, and Christian, right? Where are you going to go? Some other place? So you're, not supporting what Chick-fil-A is doing, but now you're picking another company that's doing something worse or the same or slightly less. There's just nothing we can do with it, and regulations need to be stepped up. Second point of that, because they're using prison labor, this country and capitalism cannot survive without slave labor in some shape or form. It just can't. This country's addicted to it. We will enslave anybody we can. I've done other videos talking about how they're trying to get rid of child labor laws. A handful of states now have made it so kids as young as 14 can work full-time jobs. Full-time. And now we find out that prison labor is being used to produce and manufacture goods. It's just cost-effective, makes the prison's money. All at the same time, while that labor is being used, they're still raising prices on you. The AP story that original video is based off of found that prices were still going up even though the production costs went down because they were using prison labor. So what's the excuse now? What is the excuse now where they're charging so much for your food when it was being produced by prison labor for pennies on the dollar? Not even kidding. And I saw comments people weren't even aware. A lot of people were saying, like, I only thought prisoners were allowed to make license plates and road signs. No. The idea that prison labor is only for certain things is a bygone ideal and concept. I don't think it was ever one of those things that was strictly enforced. We don't have the chain gang anymore. What we're doing is far worse. In another video I watched, and I think they reference it in this one, inmates were getting hurt, but they're not seen as employees, so they have no option to do anything. If the working conditions are unfair, they can't say anything. And then you have opposition that's like, well, they're inmates. They're paying their debt back to society. That's what they get. And it's like, no. We have an amendment against that, but apparently that's not being enforced. Apparently we're not enforcing a lot of them, considering that even, one of our former presidents isn't being sent to prison for inciting insurrection. I guess we're just not following the Constitution anymore, and it really is upsetting because there's so many of these people, just mouth breathers, who are like, oh, Constitution, but they ain't following it. Only when the rules benefit them do they want it. But when it comes to using slave labor, when it comes to mistreating prisoners, when it comes to working underage children, all of that, they're fine just to turn the other eye and look away, which is just wrong. It's just wrong. So be aware this is happening. And again, follow More Perfect Union to get an update of what's there. I would definitely watch what you can on their feed. They also have a YouTube channel with slightly longer videos that detail some other horrific things happening right now in the United States. It's just awful.